I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Have you ever seen a team trade an offensive phenom at the age of 25 post a finals appearance in the middle of a season? Before this season, I would assume that answer is no. Now, have you seen that same team get rewarded with the number one pick in the draft when one of the better prospects we've seen in the past 15 years is waiting on a destination? The 2025 NBA season has been nothing more than unpredictable, and the Dallas Mavericks have a lot to do with it. But even with everything going on, I still believe the Dallas Mavericks, with the addition of Cooper Flagg, can become a historical defense. If we take a look at the Mavericks' defensive personnel, this should rank towards the top 3 in the NBA, with guys like Max Christie, Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford. And as a defense, here are a few of the things that they should be elite at going into the season. They have elite versatility with the lineup and the depth of defensive players that I just showed you. They're rebounding with having multiple guys that are 6'7" and above. Their rim protection with multiple plus rim protectors on the team, and their point of attack defense with guys like Najee Marshall, Cooper Flagg, and PJ Washington. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the elite defenses this season, and we're going to compare how the Dallas Mavericks can take some bits of schemes of what they did last year and put it into what the Dallas Mavericks can do this year to become a historic defense. I want to start off with the Houston Rockets. Having multiple guys that can guard at the point of attack and having multiple guys who can play off ball, they also did a really good job at controlling the possession battle. The Houston Rockets led the league in total rebounds per game. They led the league in rebound percentage per game. They also led the league in points per miss and plays per miss per cleaning the glass. And I want you guys to take a look at this picture. How many guys stand below 6'6"? Maybe only Max Christie. This Dallas Mavericks team should have no problem rebounding the basketball over the regular season. One of my biggest inspirations is the Cavs defense for this Dallas Mavericks team. As we can see here, Jared Allen is going to have no problem switching onto the screen and guarding Tyrese Halliburton on the perimeter. And why is that? Because they have an A+ rim protector at the rim in Evan Mobley. This gives you way more flexibility with your big men and having them go out to the paint, go out to the perimeter, and roam around the perimeter defensively. Or just in this case, if we can freeze frame right here, I want you to imagine that Evan Mobley is Anthony Davis, and instead of his low men being Donovan Mitchell and Ty Jerome, imagine that's Daniel Gafford and Cooper Flagg. I think it's safe to say that Anthony Davis can sit at the same table as Evan Mobley as a perimeter defender. The Lakers have tried multiple times to put Anthony Davis at the top of a zone, but they just did not have the low men to execute this scheme. And instead of having guys like Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Jared Vanderbilt as their low men, the Mavericks are going to have Cooper Flagg and Daniel Gafford. We know some of the philosophies around elite defenses that have elite rim protection is they can be more aggressive on the perimeter. Either they're going to try and go for turnovers, or they can just funnel the on-ball player into their elite rim protecting big. This is something the Utah Jazz did when they had Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Not having the best defensive personnel on the perimeter, 9 times out of 10 they would just funnel their man into one of their elite rim protectors. And I would say this would be a seamless fit for Cooper Flagg for the Dallas Mavericks. Over this past season, Duke played very aggressive on the perimeter, knowing they would have a low man in either Kaman Maluach or Cooper Flagg there to protect the rim. I would also like to take some shades from what OKC does. OKC plays very aggressive on the perimeter, knowing they can get turnovers, and if they don't get the turnovers and they overbite on the perimeter, they have a very good rim protector in Chet Holmgren or Isaiah Hartenstein there to protect the rim. One of the biggest talking points in this move, in my opinion, is the versatility that Dallas would have if they add Cooper Flagg. With Cooper Flagg now on the roster, you now have an opportunity to have a point of attack defender, a roamer, and a rim protector on the floor at all times. Cooper Flagg has shown qualities throughout the season to be a good roamer, good rim protector, a good on-the-ball player, and with his wingspan and foot speed, it should make this very seamless. In my opinion, Najee Marshall and Max Christie are the best point of attack defenders on the roster. Constantly being able to put pressure on the opposing ball handlers, be able to create consistent turnovers with their length, and get out in transition after the turnover as well. So imagine running a lineup of Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively. This would be one of the most pressurous defensive lineups in the NBA, and this would always be a matchup that you can attack mismatches on. They can switch heavy, they can play out on the perimeter, and they can be as aggressive as they want to because there's going to be a positive rim protector on the floor at all times. So you're going to have a defense that checks off almost all the boxes of being elite. 9 times out of 10, they're going to win every possession battle with multiple guys that are positive rebounders like Lively, Gafford, Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, and Cooper Flagg. They have multiple guys that can play on the ball like PJ Washington, Max Christie, and Najee Marshall. They have really good rim protectors at every position, whether it's PJ Washington, Cooper Flagg, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, or Anthony Davis. And they can switch heavy. They can run a lot of 6'6 plus type of players on the floor and can switch multiple positions. Defensively, I think the sky is the limit for this Dallas Mavericks team, and I think Cooper Flagg unlocks a lot of that. If he can bring some of that defensive intensity that he showed at Duke this past season, I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be the best defense in the league. Cooper Flagg is one of the better defensive prospects we've seen over the past 10 years, and you have possibly the best defender in the world in Anthony Davis paired next to him. This is a Dallas Mavericks team that posted top 10 defensive numbers when they were fully healthy, and last season they were one of the better defenses in the league post-trade deadline. With their defensive personnel and the position that they've put themselves in over these past few months, I think they can be one of the best defenses the league has ever seen. And I think with this defensive scheme and game plan, they could be gearing up for a really deep playoff run come next season. If you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know this is a shorter video, but this is something I just wanted to get off my skin because this is something I've been thinking about for a while now. But as always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.